What's up, guys? I'm finally back. I'm back. Today's look is warm tones. I don't like talking on camera. It's so weird. So today's look is inspired by a photo sent to me by my girl Chris Lachey on Instagram. So I pretty much used that as a model to follow that, and I came up with this. It's not exactly like the picture, but I like it. So anyway, if you'd like to see the steps I took to get this look, keep watching. To prep the lids for shadow, I'm taking a light tan concealer and blending it all over using my middle finger. Then I will set it with some powder just to be sure that my eyeshadow does not crease. Going slightly over the crease, I'm starting out with an orange shade, and this will serve as a transition shade. I'm applying the shadow with sweeping circular motions instead of packing the pigment on. It takes a little longer, but it gives me more control of the blend. I don't want the orange to be too bold or too washed out, so I'm going to take my time and build this color gradually. This is more of a burnt orange shade, and I'm being careful not to blend it up as high as I did the first shade. These two different shades of orange will create a gradient and add depth to the eye look. And finally, for the crease, I'm just taking this dark brown shade and blending it up, being sure not to completely cover the burnt orange. I'm cutting the crease right under where the brown meets the orange. Then I'll fill in my lid and set it with powder, like coloring. The first shade I'm using on the lid is called Conch from Tarte's Rainforest by the Sea palette, and this will go all over the lid except the outer edge. So I'm going to leave the outer edge blank for a different shade to go on. With a small blending brush, I'm sweeping on the shades Marina and Seaside, which are two brown shades from the same palette, onto the outer edge, making sure to constantly blend. Taking a black shadow, I'm going to apply a very small amount on the outer edge as well, with the same brush, being sure not to cover the brown shades, and that will complete the shadow. Today's foundation is from Black Radiance, and the shade is called Cocoa Bean. This foundation dries very quickly, so I used a slightly damp brush to blend it out and make sure the final look is smooth and not patchy. So I'm just gonna map out my face by taking a large blending sponge and placing my highlights, which usually go under my eyes, on the center of my forehead, down my nose, and on my chin. But before I blend anything, I take one of those face brushes that looks like a hairbrush. I don't know the official name, but I use that to place my contours right under my cheekbones, on the sides of my nose, and around my hairline. I blend out the highlight first with this cute little blending sponge, and then I go back with a fluffy brush and blend out the contours. And I love this method. I'm not sure why, but for some reason my blends always come out better when I do it this way. So once I'm blended to my liking, I go back in with powders to set it all down. Next for the face, I'm trying a new highlighter I just bought. It's Nika K's Perfection Highlighter in the shade Inca. It's this really pretty gold, not too far off from the gold shades I normally use. So I'm only applying a small amount because I want my skin makeup to have a natural glow. I'm lining my lips with the last of this brown pencil from NYX. Then I'm gonna fill them in with the shade Millbrook by Nika K. And finally, I'm gonna top it off with a lip oil. This step is of course optional, and to seal it all together, I am taking some cold water and misting it all over the face just to shrink my pores a bit. I want to thank you guys for being so freaking supportive of me. I've been a little out of commission, and as a creator, I feel I judge my work the toughest, but I'm proud to say that I'm back on my ish and ready to give you guys some great content. This inspired look honestly challenged me and taught me a thing or two as well, and I want to just leave all my creators out there with a positive note. If you find yourself at a halt, that's okay. Sometimes we have to really focus on and fine-tune our craft before we're ready to share it with the world. So as long as you keep to the goals you have set for yourself and have faith, everything will fall into place. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All the products I use will be listed below in the description box. Of course, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'll see you guys in the next one.